Brad, Jared, and Kelly both named to the Rising Stars game. What does that mean to you as their coach?
Well, I think it's obviously an honor for them, and I think that the nice part about it is I think they can both get a lot better. Good start to their young careers. Although I think both of them would like to play better on a night in, night out basis. So it's hopefully that's just a validation for them and encourages them to continue working the right way.
What is the next step for Kelly? Like, what would you like to see him do?
Well, I think Kelly's got, I think he and Jared have some things that they can really get better at defensively. Certainly you can do those things. You'll learn those with experience and time. You'll get them with strength and just getting used to the speed of the game and those types of things. But there are certain technical things that I think they are improving on, but other ways that they can really get better, both physically and just seeing the game. Offensively, just continuing to grow and be confident in playing the way that they best play. I talked to Jared a little bit today about what we see out of him moving forward and where we think he can go, and the consistency that it takes to get to the lofty places which we think he can achieve to. And then Kelly is, I think Kelly's just going through your typical rookie swings of good games, not so good games, because it's part of being a rookie. It's part of inconsistent minutes too. It's hard to play inconsistent minutes.
Coach, what's see them as a combination that can play together? I know you would describe that earlier.
Yeah, I think they can play together. I think that in an ideal world, they're probably both fours, but they certainly can play together because of Kelly's length at the four and Jared's strength at the four. So, I think, in an ideal world, I don't know that you've got those guys on the court for 30, 35 minutes together, but they certainly can play together, and they're certainly both very good prospects.
Is Rondo active today?
Rondo is, I don't know if he's active or inactive, but he's not playing.
Can you talk a little bit about Michael Carter-Williams, what you've seen from him?
Well, I think he's one of the best rookies in the class, and I saw when they released the Rising Stars announcement that he was the one on the title, and I think that kind of says where people think he is, and he's playing very free. He's really improved in a lot of areas, but at the same time has always had great ability, especially in the open court and in taking advantage of matchup problems with his size at the point.
I know you had thought that Rondo might play tonight. What changed?
That was me. That was just me talking off the top of my head, and I didn't even check before I said it. I probably should have checked first, but no, it was it was one of those things that I think he's still. Ed Lacert, I actually asked Ed a couple of minutes after I talked to you all, and Ed said doubtful that we would do that this early.
Coach, what's the status of Avery Bradley and his sprained ankle?
Getting a lot better. Very close to coming back. Not going to play tonight.
Brad, obviously Rondo's out of the starting lineup. Any other changes to the starting lineup tonight?
No, Phil will be in his place, and everything else remains the same from the previous couple of nights.
Brad, how do you figure out the minutes for Olenek and Favarati? Is there any thought of giving them more time, considering what your record is, or do they have to earn those?
Bill, I think it's a really good question, and I'm a big believer in you have to earn that with your time, with your production, and certainly a case can be made for any of our bigs, and at the end of the day, that's one of the things that has been, inconsistent on our team, is just being able to find that consistent production up and down the roster, not just at the 4 and the 5. All very capable, all able to do a lot of things. There's different ways to develop besides just playing in games, and so I'm not worried about the developmental curve per se of these guys. I think. They're getting stronger, they're getting great workouts, they're getting reps, and then when they get their minutes in games, hopefully they can take advantage of that. And in Vitor's case, you saw last week, we sent him for more game action to Maine, and we'll probably do that more with our young guys all the way through the end of this year.
Who else might you do that?
anybody that would be a candidate for that wouldn't be playing as much as we think he may need to play.
You mentioned, you talked with Jared Sullinger, recently. He's had a couple of games where he's kind of been off a little bit. I know he had the finger in the hand, but was there a reason why you decided to sit him down and say, okay, make sure he stays?
Well, I think, first of all, I did say, hey, I realize you're playing through the hand and the finger because, he's a tough guy. He wants to play, and he likes to play. And I value that and think highly of him for that. One of the things that I just challenged him on is not having to accept being a 22-year-old in the league. And we're in a unique situation in that we're asking some of our young guys to be almost leaders and almost more vocal in their approach. And so my talking point with him was, I know you're 22, but you're a mature basketball player. You know the game, and for our team to grow, we need to continue for you to maybe play and be a few years ahead of where you are. And it's not fair to him, but it's a great opportunity for him, and so that was my challenge to him.
Is that consistency you mean in terms of being playing forward?
It's a lot less about the numbers of how you played, and how many shots you make or how many rebounds you get, and just more about, hey, a lot of young guys accept going through ups and downs because they think it's part of the process, and you can miss opportunities if you do that. And our guys have great opportunities, and I don't want them to miss it.